Wait lang po, connecting pa po.
Fred.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Yung sinasabi nila itong Women University to sa Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Princess Noura University, largest women university.
Ah, wow.
Guinness Book of Record yan up to now.
Oo nga.
Lead gold.
Anong university
Lead gold.
ito ulit?
USBGC lead gold.
Okay. Talagang nakita mo na yata ang lahat na mga babae.
I hope so. Sana pagtulong-tulungan nating makita lahat.
Sige. ME ka talaga. Okay.
Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 18th of the PAASE for Philippine Innovation Series. I'm Gisela Concepcion, an executive member of the National Innovation Council, a past president of PAASE, and I'm grateful and humbled today to have as our guest speaker somebody whom I would consider a hero of our country. This is engineer Alfredo Fred Silvestre, an OFW who came home after several years of work in the Middle East. I always believed that OFWs have this great transformative role and power in Philippine society. And that is because OFWs were hired abroad by foreign companies to work in different sectors of their societies, in different industries, based on their expertise, their skills and competencies. And then in that foreign setting, our OFWs learned a lot more of high quality work because in those countries, we know that the system works. So the environment or the milieu is better in most cases than what we have here in our country. And therefore, when the OFWs return to our country, they have this very great potential or perhaps responsibility to help uplift and upgrade our local workforce in the various industries and also in their communities. Now, we know that the government recognizes the role of our OFWs for their contribution to our GDP. And in today's news, we have this information that there are close to 12 million OFWs abroad, contributing $135 billion in remittances, or roughly 10% of the overall economy. And today, the new Finance Secretary, Ralph Rector, indicates that he backs the insurance for OFWs. And I would imagine, I would hope that the government will continue to provide our OFWs many more incentives and also forms of protection and support beyond insurance. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say that Ka Fred is somebody who works on the ground. And that's what impressed me most when I first met him at an NIC event where a private company had worked out on a project of the NIC, which is to identify barriers to innovations. And I found Ka Fred's comments during the open forum to be very insightful. Okay, so I decided to become friends with him, and we had met and discussed so many important matters regarding our national development. And I thought that our PAASE audience should meet this outstanding person that I admire very much. So thank you very much, Ka Fred, for joining us. At this point, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Distinguished Professor of Mechanical Engineering of De La Salle University, past PAASE President and current Vice President of the National Academy of Science and Technology, Dr. Alvin Culaba. I yield the floor to Alvin.
Thank you, Giselle. Alvin here. Good morning and good evening to some parts of the world. And we're really honored to have one of our special guests for our 18th edition of the PAASE for Philippine Innovation Fireside series. As mentioned by Giselle, our guest speaker is a mechanical engineer by background, having completed his degree from Mapua University in 1993. He started his career in 1991 with the DOST TAPI, Technology Application and Promotion Institute, Technology Business Incubator Grant, as a pioneer technology incubator. In 1997, he was only 28 then. He was amongst the youngest Philippine delegate to the Tech Trans 19 1997 in Osaka, Japan. He went on with his journey until the time that the family corporation retired in 2012, which forced him to work as OFW in Saudi Arabia with the position of a mechanical supervisor, and was immediately promoted to senior mechanical engineer for operation and maintenance of the largest women university in the world, no? As attested and certified by Guinness Book of World Records. In 2018, he went with his British consultant to perform contracts for Qatar Foundation in Doha. He managed work order tickets for Qatar National Convention Center and Qatar Science and Technology Complex, both located in Education City in Doha, Qatar. He came back to the Philippines in 2019, and in 2021, he joined the DOST's IFWDPH program for innovation of Filipino working distantly from the Philippines by acquiring a grant for his son. He is presently an executive volunteer of Entrepinoy Volunteer Foundation for OFW Reintegration, funded by DOST, DMW, this is the Department of Migrant Workers, and other organizations in the interest of OFW MSME initiative and advocacy. Ladies and gentlemen, the General Manager of the Silvestre Electro-Mechanical Services with subsidized startup ASEM Corporation, it is my distinct honor and pleasure to call on Engineer Alfredo E. Silvestre. Fred, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Alvin, for the kind introduction. Thank you, Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering, for having me. And I am truly honored and privileged to be the guest speaker of PAASE for Philippine Innovation. Thank you po, Giselle Concepcion, Executive Member of National Innovation Council, Dr. Alvin Colava, Mechanical Engineering Executive of De La Salle University, and PAASE members and officers for giving me the chance to on OFW Enterprise. Welcome to all viewers and participants. Salamat po for taking time to be here on this talk. Slide 1, please. Can I have the PowerPoint slide 1? Ayun, okay. This is my presentation. This is an innovation for OFW Enterprise. A proposal to innovate and create OFW Enterprise for vertical transportation system services at facility locations. Let me start by introducing the main purpose of my presentation, which is to innovate OFW work culture within the middle class level to address not only the goal to educate and complete our children's education, but also to achieve competitive service enterprise through developing competency and skill learning. And to go on, we all need to be very dependent with our work culture by being dynamic. Correct attitude will lead us to adapt the ever-changing environment. Slide 2, please. The name of innovation is Vertical Transportation System Services. Brief description and features of the technology. Number 1, Vertical Transportation System, or VTS, is a building equipment such as elevator, escalator, automated walkways, and other electromechanical equipment to transport people and goods within a building. Number 2, present technology assigned BTS as on designated and designed facility, location, FL. PTS is a standard system adopted in constructing and installing elevators and escalators in high-rise building and large construction sites such as FLs. Advantages: BTS equipment is mushrooming around the country, where technical education and services is economically viable. BTS demand can drive local manufacturer to produce parts and the unit itself by adapting the expertise of OFW by reintegration. Elevator and escalator services in the Philippines at present is a big market since infrastructure is booming for the past 20 years and so. I started my experience in BTS during the late 90s, from where I am the responsible subcontractor for more than 30 units of elevator car and lobby construction for metal cladding and custom finish located in the tallest building constructed in Makati during the year 2000. In 2016, I was also able to install elevator, including equipment startup for low-rise buildings in 24 different facility locations within a year time. At present, I am subcontracting after-sales service for repair and maintenance of installed elevator and escalator. I refrain from doing the physical mental site works to care for my physical health, for recovery and control, since site heavy work requires a strong, physically able body, critical thinking, and working at least 12 hours a day, which includes weekends and holidays. Kung sabihin nga trabahong patayan. Lastly, refraining to do heavy activities resulted my clamor to look and source out technology and other logistics for competitive edge in the service industry for my product and services. This is my concept. This is my story. Slide 3, please. My concept revolves around OFW Enterprise, which is a vast experience that I have here in abroad. It consists of 4 divisions. And the first division is a research framework. The second is engineering system. The third is R&D, a finished product. And the fourth is commercialization. Let's go to division 1. Research framework is the latest learning experience I achieved. Maraming salamat po sa NEDA-NIASD program for inviting me to attend the Philippine Innovation Scoping Study for Enablers and Barriers in submitting and final presentation workshop, where I completed and learned the qualitative and quantitative analysis that was conducted. I find this concept to be very important and necessary in creating a business, especially for an OFW enterprise, of which can be minimally controlled and is micro-manageable for OFWs. Basic business startup analysis. Strategic and periodical plan can be created through preparatory project technical assistance white paper, feasibility study, and business plan. Here we can use quantitative and qualitative data analysis with available statistical data. Otherwise, actual data gathering must be conducted. For Division 2, engineering systems have been around my corners since I and my father started to dream of making a local and genuine Filipino vehicle for our country. Engineering, procurement, construction for building infrastructure in large scale is inevitable, from where science, technology, and engineering, that is for policy and processes, resulted in controlled building development. In usual situation, a building project is always delayed. In absence of disidentified construction segments, modeling and prototyping serve as the basis of all product and services combined and become the basic requirement of doing business. Project management, as the name implies, act as an envelope to contain all the data across the engineering system that will be delivered to client, which includes but not limited to facility operation and maintenance. Sustainable facility management must always be improved based on sustainable development goals in all facility locations. Division 3, R&D, finished product, can be known as raw material inventory for R, and developing processes and procedures for D, which is equal to finished product. The production line is always money line or the main income generator. Critical business decisions are all based in this area that encapsulates the economic viability of the OFW enterprise. Safety, reliability, and sustainability are always the most pressing issues to address. Quality control and assurance must always be up to date, and regular audit must also be in place. Manufacturing Productivity Extension Program, with acronym MPEX, that I learned since I was a DOST baby in the 90s, is the very helpful and important in achieving product goals and improvement. Here are 6 ways to increase productivity in manufacturing according to MPEX. Number 1, review your existing workflow. Number 2, update processes and technology. Number 3, commit to scheduled maintenance. Number 4, train and educate employees. Number 5, organize the workplace. And number 6, maintain optimal inventory. Thank you po kay Kaboy, ang author ng MPEX. Let's go to Division 4. Commercialization describes the pros and cons of business profitability, that is P&L model. It encompasses the critical valuation of essential activities of the business economics. It is the business segment that must be dynamic and always competitive. The least part that must be given the utmost importance but taken secretly for sales confidentiality, the money chest. With these 4 divisions of OFW Enterprise, we can continue to present vertical transportation system. Slide 4, please. Problem addressed. Strengthening capability on BTS technology in compliance that conform international standards in construction, installation, operation, and maintenance of BTS in FLs and other spaces. By strengthening local technology capability, OFWs will adopt vertical transportation system in local settings and eventually upgrade the local work culture. Number 2, reintegration of OFW specializing in vertical transportation system. Reintegration of competent and skilled OFWs will be very welcome by middle-class society with the help of OFW enterprise concept. Number 3, specialization for OFW enterprise in modernization and periodic preventive maintenance of installed BTS using parallel and collinear framework concept for all activity or work through personal instinct using fractal triangle theory. Specialization of OFWs will be introduced by applying tao, trabaho, tanggapan, conjecture using fractal triangle theory. And last, eradication of both contractor and passenger miss, hit, incident, and accident by following mandated and detailed instruction and procedure. Workplace will always be environmentally safe and healthy, promoting best practices, of which will be the major education improvement objective for OFWs. Next slide, please. Innovation, risk mitigation, and design area. There are three areas that we can cover on this concept, which is the vertical transportation system, facility locations, and elevator and escalator manufacturing. Innovation, risk mitigation, and design areas for BTS, FLs, and BTS manufacturing facilities will conform to best practices here and abroad. Partnership and contractor will collaborate further upon completing the academic guidelines of the enterprise concept. I am open and waiting for more collaborators to solidify and make concrete understanding and agreement for OFW Enterprise. Next slide, please. The project components for importation, local sourcing, and local production. Slide 6. For project components, I have been collaborating with some of the finest company and professional specializes in electromechanical, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, fire protection, and of course civil engineering, environmental and sanitation, structural analysis. And I brand up one of the project components for this concept as follows. The project components for importation is elevator training unit, MCCS, central control drive and communication assembly, traction motor and drive assembly, door system assembly, safety system assembly. For project components for local sourcing, electrical system assembly, air conditioning and ventilation system assembly. For project components for local production is interior and exterior parts and accessories. Next slide, please. Service roadmap and milestone. Service roadmap and milestone will be based in actual and approved detailed engineering design and project preparatory technical white paper. The service roadmap is projected as in 3 phases. The first phase is engineering, procurement, construction of warehouse training for parts and service facility that can be conducted and started on January 22, 2024 and be completed on December 2024 for a 1-year term construction. And the project phase 2 would be installation, startup, and training of elevator training unit and other modernization parts assembly. And this can be conducted and execute within 6 months as forecasted. And project phase 3, just the same project phase 2, can be conducted in 6 months. This is the scheduling of training and deployment to facility locations. Next slide, please. Future plan. Future plan number 1. Communal creation of OFW Industrial Revolution for Communal Development through forming BTS services. This is a communal development and management of OFW Enterprise using the Filipino Treaty Conjecture. And communal development and management on OFW Enterprise using the Filipino Treaty Conjecture. Picture plan number 3. OFW Enterprise concept will be integrated into the service development and management using more PAASE theory for building automation interoperability solutions under hybrid waterfall and agile methodology. Picture plan number 4. Integration of OFW Enterprise to conform and standardize management system programming methodologies. Picture plan number 5. Alignment of OFW Enterprise, BTS service, tao, trabaho, tanggapan, in compliance to Philippine Development Plan, Ambition 2040. With these plans, I wish and pray that everybody could spare time to think about the above concept, and I'm willing to share it to all kabayan. Next slide, please. Innovation for OFW Enterprise. This is the end of presentation, and thank you.
Maraming salamat, Ka Fred.
Salamat.
I'm admiring of what you just shared with us this morning. We have never had a speaker in this PAASE for Philippine Innovation series like you. So at this point, I'd like to thank you again for agreeing to speak to us who are mostly based in academia, and we probably do not have the same kind of experience that you do have on the ground. I'd also like to thank the DOST for being a source of inspiration and training to Ka Fred, most especially Secretary Boy de la Peña. So at this point, we will start our Q&A, first by our two hosts, that's Alvin and me, and then afterwards we will open the floor to questions from the audience. And just remember that even if we have limited number of guests today, this is recorded. And so you can always share this recording, this exchange and presentation with your colleagues and friends. So they can source this from the PAASE website. Okay. So Engineer Fred, my first question is, in the maintenance of your VTS, I would like to know this preventive maintenance is done very regularly, routinely. I would like to know about the breakage of parts of your VTS system. I understand that the VTS system is imported. Am I right? There's no local production of this.
Actually po, na in controlled installations and facilities, they are using wider macroeconomic terms for implementing operation and maintenance. For facility management, we have the service level agreement, and from there, the data gathering, the asset data gathering, actual annual with improvements is done together with the as-built plans to make a master plan for the regular periodic preventive maintenance, which is the annual PPM, which is conducted into work tickets. And I am the one who was doing the work orders schedule, the periodic preventive maintenance for Princess Nora University for 3 years.
Opo, kaya ISO po siguro ito. These are all international standards, based on
Opo.
international standards, no? So, gusto ko lang malaman, what's the difference between how they do it in Doha versus how we do it in the Philippines. Of course, marami na rin tayong mga high-rise buildings dito or medium-rise buildings and elevators work. But what's the main difference between how you do it in Princess University and how we are doing it here? I would also want to know how, for example, the LRTs or the MRTs are managed here with regular preventive maintenance protocols. Of course, wala pa namang VTS, no, leading up to the LRTs and MRTs, unlike in other countries, no. So included in my question is, pagka merong parts that break in your VTS, saan po ninyo kinukuha yung mga parts nun? Doon sa main manufacturer ng VTS system? I imagine hindi rin siya talagang lahat gawa sa Qatar. So ini-import din nila yon. Siguro German or Korean. But I'd like to know if meron na ring innovation in the replacement of the broken parts. Yun lang. Muna, tanong ko.
Apo. Complete po. Complete ang isang facility location or isang controlled facility is just like a satellite. Meron po siyang procurement for a season, a year. In our terms here in Earth, meron po tayo annual preventive periodic maintenance schedule. There is a master plan. There is a recovery plan against the service level agreements. So the engineering, procurement, and construction is really connected to operation and maintenance through the virtue of the procurement system of the vendor assist system in warehousing, using for the parts using enterprise asset management, the building maintenance system recorded and give the data to the master planner when to replace an aged part. Miski hindi po siya sira, basta tapos na yung usage niya, tinatanggal na po siya. At doon po magaling ang mga Pilipino. Pag meron kaming tinanggal na buo at pinilitan namin ng bago, sineshell po namin yon. Hindi namin sinisiro sa warehouse. Para in case of emergency, kami rin po kasi ang naiipit ng mga Pilipino eh. Alam niyo, mga Pilipino lang ang inaasahan sa Middle East. Pag umalis sa mga Pilipino ron, hindi na huaandar ang Middle East. So the main thing is this, the facility management for facility locations is a vast location just like a satellite. So it will operate to the end of its life with all the procurements, the vendor system, the inventory warehousing, and a complete setup of all technicals and expertise that is needed. Para siyang isang malaking barko na lumaot, hindi siya pwedeng masiraan doon.
So, napaka-importante niyang sinabi niyo ka, Fred, kasi ang problema ng buong academic scientific community rin po ay procurement. Okay?
Opo.
Doon, hindi pa pwedeng maghintay ang procurement pagka you are running a private commercial system or operation. And so mahusay ang procurement in advance of all the materials and parts that are required to keep the systems going. So malaking action ho yan sa atin. So I will request Alvin to expound on these matters further. Isa na lang po yung tanong ko sa ngayon. Yung pong training program na binabalak ninyo. Una, kayo po ay nag-train din sa TESDA, am I right? Nag-train din kayo sa TESDA. Tapos, ang laki ng tulong ng DOST sa inyo. Ngayon, yun po yung malaking challenge sa bansa natin, yung pong ating continuous and upgraded training or upskilling na tinatawag. So, may paraan ba na kayo ay makatulong sa TESDA, mag-volunteer kayo sa TESDA on how we can train our engineers, but not just for OFW work now, but for how to maintain our own, establishments here. Of course, yung mga malalaking establishments natin dito, they invest in their own maintenance and repair. Pero yung mga operations ng public transport systems ng gobyerno, sa government offices, or even sa mga state universities and colleges natin, nakikita natin na lagi merong parang inadequate preventive maintenance and repair dito sa ating mga buildings, no? So, meron bang paraan na formalize natin this area of training is in TESDA? Kasi meron kayong binabalak na inyong company-led training, meron na kayong schedule. But hahanap pa rin kayo ng trainees ng market for this. Can TESDA be parang the venue for your training? Hanggang doon na lang po ako ngayon, sa ngayon. Fred.
Sige po. Ganito po. Yung pong mga online courses for course planning, supervising training, and other leadership role in TESDA, meron po akong certification online. But I don't think yung technical training, the technical TR, na the technical regulated courses ng TESDA will what do you call that? Will jive with the international standards, especially in facility locations and controlled facilities. Kasi it is the work on the ground po talaga. So sa TESDA po, kung tawagin po itong mga course na itinuturo namin or natutunan namin is NTR. This is no training regulations courses na we can readily teach. Yun nga lang po, we really need the same kind of work culture. Sabi nga nila yung parang Saudi boy work culture, which is a survival method to learn something. Pili po talaga siya. I don't mind saying that these advanced technologies are really for experts and specialists. And nevertheless, pwede naman pong umpisahan sa TESDA kung it will be started from the work culture. Kasi po, we all knew that attitude matters the most.
Absolutely.
And this kind of expertise and knowledge cannot be learned by just studying in a standard environment. This is a critical and controlled environment that must be applied to people with the same work culture.
Final comments ko po, Ka-Fred. Totoo po yan. Yung Filipino work culture dito sa bansa natin, kailangan pa rin pong i-improve. Kaya ang laki ng role ng mga OFW na nagtrabaho doon on a survival and success mode, kamukha ninyo, to transfer that work culture of discipline. And
yun nga po, kaya hihingi po kami sa inyo na sana tulungan nyo kami na yung work culture, yung attitude na natutunan namin to learn this specialist and expertise learnings, baka can innovate the learning that we have right now on the ground.
So this is actually innovation in training and learning, Alvin, no? Pero one final comment is this. Years back, I proposed that sana TESDA would be made part of the DOST. Pero yung isang senador po na nakausap ko sabi, mahirap yan, Giselle, kasi TESDA is established based on the law, no? So mahirap daw i-revise yan. And the reason I propose this is because we know that the training has to be hands-on. Hindi lang online, hindi lang book knowledge. Sa mga inhinyero, sa mga technical people, we really work not only with our mind but also with our hands. And we have to manipulate and control instruments and equipment well, no? So anyway, nakita ko yung modelong yan sa ibang bansa like South Korea, where the government invests in training facility. Meron po silang mga equipment doon for training. Maybe na siguro yung mga major sector earning and they're able to pay for the training fee. Sino naman ang mga trainers? Yung mga trainers doon ay yung mga experts of mga may state-of-the-art knowledge na din from universities. And in our case, pwede namang itong mga OFWs rin na meron ng experience of this kind of work in advanced countries. So yung pong ganong sistema ay ginagawa sa South Korea. I remember visiting the facility. It was acronym champion. Ganon po in other countries. Sa Taiwan, ganon din. Then if the employee completes the training, then that employee gets a certificate of training and it is made the basis for the promotion of that employee in his company. So marami tayong mga modelo from advanced countries of how these things work. Sana naman tulong-tulong tayong lahat sa academe, sa Lasal, sa UP, at iba pang mga kolehiyo, Mapua, at then from the OFW expert workforce para mabuo natin ito. Baka naman si Sec Boy ay makatulong sa atin. Anyway, dito na po ako magtatapos ng aking mga comments. I yield the floor to Dr. Engineer Alvin. Salamat po.
Thank you, Giselle. Again, thank you very much, Engineer Silvestre. No? It's an inspiring to many OFW how you can reintegrate themselves or yourself into our current situation. Especially you returned at the time during the pandemic, di ba? So it must have been a very challenging time for you to reintegrate, no, in our Ay, by the way, Sec Boy, nandito na si former Secretary Peña joining us here. So isa lang we were talking earlier, Giselle was talking earlier of many components, no, of a successful enterprise for OFW. Doon sa framework, sa structure mo, I thought one of the missing components there would be on human capital. If there's any division, because you have the research framework, you have the engineering system, the R&D, finished product, and you have the commercialization. Maybe I do not know what's your view on this, no? In an OFW enterprise, one of the critical components that will allow you to continuously innovate is your human capital and human resources. Maybe one division that I may suggest that could be incorporated or included in this overall structure that you have on innovation for OFW enterprise will be human capital development. This brings me earlier, actually, I was about to ask what will be the role of TESDA here, no? Being an agency that have capacity, supposedly resources to train, but I already heard your comment on that earlier. But a division on human resources, a capacity which will actually respond so fast, to the right skills, to the right culture. I think the skills you mentioned earlier, parang feeling ko parang hindi problema, di ba? Sa mga skills that OFW, they are really skilled, they are high level yung pero ang sinasabi mo yung culture, di ba? That's the real challenge, yung kanyang attitude, yung towards work, especially working with in an OFW enterprise. I suspect that it is a fast change or enterprise, and therefore the human resource component must be also quick to respond to the needs. Pag kailangan mo yung isang skill na ganito, especially if you need to re-engineer things when it breaks down and then you want to re-engineer, kailangan mo yung skills na yan that should be available to us, parang ganon. And therefore, that particular component division that I was thinking that could be integrated in your structure allows a venue for mga OFW to be part of that resource. And you know that whenever you need that particular skill, you have an available one, maybe from the OFW, that the many OFW that we have here in the country. So palagay ko, I was just thinking about that critical division or component that will allow continuous innovation in the OFW enterprise. So what is your thought on this, Engineer Silvestre? I know you are so experienced in this. We have little to share in this area. So can you share this idea of incorporating or integrating another division related to human resources?
Related to human resources would always be the integration in the roadmap. Actually, under the sun, for a facility location to exist, facility locations is a district size structures or complex of anything of value with equipments for operation and maintenance. And usually, the human resource demand for a facility locations is automatic. That's why almost all facility locations in the world recruit around the world. Kaya meron talagang overseas workers around the world. It doesn't matter from where country you came from. Kaya nga lang, we are very lucky. Filipinos are the best. So, in terms of human resources, Philippines have no, from my think of view, I have no issue whatsoever. The only issues that exist when we talk about human resources is the equal opportunity of the employee. The equal opportunity of the employers always comes first. How about the employee? So in a very balanced facility location, there is no such thing as an issue for logistics and other skills or inventories that is needed, because it is constant na. It is budgeted. It is allocated. Sabi nga nila bago pa yan, gastusan mo na yan, lagyan mo na ng malaking budget, for sure. Kung everything is in place, sinunod mo lahat ang standards. Miski hindi mo sunod ang international standard organization, nasa Pilipinas naman tayo Hindi natin kailangan mangutang Magsama-sama lang tayo. We comply with one template, with one roadmap, with one critical path. We don't need anything. Kasi the equal opportunity will rise. That's the issue I have when we talk about human resources. Because me myself, I am a mechanical supervisor in Saudi Arabia. I am Jadid. They all it new. So when you are new, you will be used. You will be very, very used, and no returns.
Okay, great.
I did not. Hindi ako pumayag to do it to me. So I prevailed because I am the one working. I am the one giving, and I am the one challenging. Sabi ko nga, it's our culture, and I think it's the right time for us to work with it. It is the bread and butter, the work culture.
Okay, thank you, Fred. One more item that interests me in your innovation for OFW Enterprise, yung sales and marketing. How critical is this? to translate all this business, into really real peso or real dollar?
My concept is not a box.
Okay.
It is outside the box. I have four division,
Okay.
and we the OFWs, we have four divisions. We work in a university, but we are divided on those four divisions, which coincides to our Philippine development plan.
Okay.
So you can do the business, or you can specialize on the division one, and take your life. Take their whole life on division one. Do not go away. Take all your families, your neighbors, all your acquaintances and friends. Do it in division one. That is your passion, which is the start of sales and marketing. Your
Okay.
passion. What division do you want? Where is you? Are you for training, schooling, academy, research, which is na number one? Without that concept, you will
Yeah.
not succeed in business.
Engineer Fred, isa pa
Yeah.
nga, you indicated here in these divisions, no, 1 and 4 data. What are these data? At saka anong challenges natin sa data acquisition, data handling, data
We use
processing, data use, can you just share
we
related
use
to
it we
before
use
we go
it
to
to
that
make
point?
we used it to make a system of methodology. Kasi we all know that we have the standard methodologies, programmer methodologies. So we have our own jargon. We created as I've told you, we created our own division, our
Yeah.
own place. And kasi the one of the major issues on great Filipinos are what do you call that? They are sailing their bangka on two rivers, which is very impossible.
Mm.
Yeah, but if you can easily jargonize it or devise a single division, 1 and 2. You do not want to go to 2. You only go to 1, which represents also data and resource in a perspective. Other
Okay.
things in algorithms and management system, it means a lot. It is the two word division that identifies who are you. It
Okay.
is your trademark. It is you. It is your passion.
Sige. Thank you, Engineer
Yeah.
Fred. May I now call on former Secretary Boy de la Peña. Sir, morning, sir. And thank you for joining.
Unmute naman ako, no? You can hear me?
Yes.
Opo.
Sige. First of all, I would like to thank Alfred here for joining and wish him the best. I was always telling him that he should be very specific about the product or service that he would like to offer. I found out that in the startups, including here in the Philippines, the more successful startups or many of the successful startups have been dealing with services and logistics, and of course that includes yung mga digital kind of assisted services. Now, I just would like to commend PAASE for initiating the inclusion of OFW entrepreneurs or would-be entrepreneurs in the fireside chat series. And I would like to suggest maybe we can feature one or two more because I have guided in the past two startups of OFWs. One of them is in the area of industrial automation, and he started way back in 1989 with 5 employees after his return from Saudi Arabia. And my connection with him is that he he taught industrial automation at the UPISSI, where I was director. And then after some time, well, we put him in the first incubator in Diliman. Okay, that was 1993. But when there was a change in management of the technology business incubator, they ruled that he should be out because he was also selling goods. But to me, the goods are of course needed for the automation systems, and I was telling them they should also have their bread and butter while they're developing their companies. And so he went out of the incubator and put up his own. Fortunately, he thrived, and today, after 35 years, he has his own building in a very choice area here in Diliman, and he employs almost 250 people because he branches out in the area of engineering services. The other one also, siyempre engineering ang aking mga kakilala, is also an OFW who worked for 30 years in Saudi, and he is a professional civil engineer. So when he came home, I told him, since there are many of you who are coming home, itong mga civil engineers and other kind of engineers, can you put up your own engineering company here in the Philippines? And they have started in 2017. Now they are in business, and basically they are specializing on mass housing. So I think well, malaki ang sabihin nating potential ng ating mga engineers who are coming home, okay? And we should tap them because they have learned a lot from their experience abroad. So yun lang. Thank you very much, and I hope you can still feature one or two more OFWs. Thank you, Giselle and Alvin.
Maraming salamat, Sec Boy. Kung higit pa sa dalawa, lalo akong matutuwa kasi ang mga OFWs so talaga mga bayani ko. Kaya matagal ko na pong nanais na malaking impact nila sa Philippine society. Pagbalik nila, in fact, ang aking propose, kung bumalik sila sa kanilang mga bayan, doon talaga sila rin ay magka-impact. No? Pero itong dalawang nabanggit ninyo na nag-establish ng kanilang mga companies, yung isa nagturo pa sa ISSI natin, tapos ngayon meron na siyang sariling kumpanya sa UP Diliman at ang dami ng employees. That is already making a big impact, no? Based on the experience of the OFWs in Saudi and other parts of the world. Hindi rin lang naman po sa sa construction or engineering services. Meron rin po mga ganyan sa health services. So we will keep this open to our OFW experts. Although our President Gladys, who is with us today, and I know she's very busy, is requesting that we also have other activities in PAASE that we would feature via Zoom on Fridays. Pero I am sure that President Gladys will allow us to continue our PFPI series maybe on another day. Kasi po meron tayong naka-line up for February and March. And itong ating mga dalawang OFW Sec Boy, sana po you can introduce us to them para
Well, I'm sure we can get them.
You're muted, Giselle. May I?
Sorry, no, pero I meant to say, Sec Boy, that yes, we will invite our two OFWs. Ang dami kong sinabi, hindi ko na uulitin, pero yun po. And President Gladys will probably allow us to move our PFPI series to another day because Friday, I think, is now being planned for other PAASE activities. Maraming salamat. So, President Gladys na ngayon ang magsasalita.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much again for the initiative, Giselle and Alvin, for the Fireside Chats on innovations here in the Philippines, and even starting from abroad. So regarding this fireside chats, so we can actually coordinate. You can still, since everybody is already familiar with these fireside chats being done on Fridays, so we can just coordinate, and you can still keep your Friday schedule, Ma'am Giselle, and we will just adjust because we won't be having every weekly webinars for this year. So we'll be just having twice a month. So we can reserve 2 Fridays for the innovation fireside chats.
Okay, so pwede naman, President Gladys, na hindi na every Friday. Maybe 2 Fridays a month.
Yes, so that's why we can switch interchange po. One
Yes.
fireside chat and one webinar and then another one. Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations, Alfred. You are so inspiring po for doing all of this.
Okay. So, Alvin, meron pa bang mga questions from the audience? Medyo maliit po yung ating audience ngayon, but do not worry about it kasi ang dami pong nanonood ng ating mga recordings sa ating ng ating fireside chats that could be well sourced or reached through the PAASE website. Ay nako. So, Fred, yung inyong training courses yun po napaka-importante, and I hope you get a lot of interest and you're able to mentor. Yun po yung word na ginagamit namin sa universities. Pinaka-importante. Pag sinabing mentor, medyo one-on-one, tapos meron talagang hands-on, hindi lang yung book knowledge. I wish that UP ERDFI Executive Director Tito Aliga is here because he's the one who really, really champions on the ground impact, no? On the groundwork. Yun yung experience at expertise ninyo, Fred. Alvin?
So I know it's 9:36 already, and we really learned a lot, from the experience of Engineer Silvestre, especially Fred, no, that you really received support, no, from the government, starting from your training at UP ISSI and how your journey actually culminated in this work that you have at the moment. So it just shows, Giselle, that indeed our government agencies programs work. We just need to know really success, sharing of this type of forum like this, like Fred sharing his experiences, because I'm sure marami yung nami-miss out lang na mga opportunities of the many programs of our government. Maybe aside from the DOST, the DTI, and probably other agencies of the government. And we are really fortunate that si Giselle is a member of the NIC kasi she knows the many areas in the whole Philippine enterprise, from academe to parang ganun, no, na who should be pushing this council really to make everything work on the ground. Kasi we know very well at the top we're good, bright minds, but it is not going down. And working parati sinasabi ni Tito, remind kami parati na it has to be the action on the ground. And I think this is the model that we had from Engineer Silvestre today. So we are really grateful for your time and for really you coming back to the Philippines and creating even more opportunities, not only to your OFWs, but really to the Filipino people. So thank you very much, Engineer Silvestre, for your kind acceptance to share in our innovation fireside chat series. So thank you so much.
Pleasure is mine.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's why I think si Boy was very enthusiastic to join us, today. So, yeah. Anyway, I do not know, Giselle, if there are some more questions from nandito si academician Sean Raimundo. Earlier, ayan, nandito si PAASE President namin, Dr. Gladys Completo. Gladys, Do you have any andito pa siya eh. I don't know as to some we have from the OST Tapi.
O si Direk
Si,
Ivy.
yeah, Marion Decena. Marion, maybe you would like to have some of course andito si Irene, and we have from Mimaropa from the DOST yeah, go ahead Gladys, Dr. Gladys Completo, our current president of PAASE.
Okay,
You're
so
recognized.
thank you po. So I
We
have
have few minutes left naman. Sige,
Yes.
go ahead Gladys.
I have a question for Engineer Fred. So, when you started this company here in the Philippines, can you identify what was your biggest hurdle?
Pardon me po.
Well, can you share with us your biggest hurdle when you were starting your company here in the Philippines?
Funding po. To fund a project. Kasi katulad sa akin sa elevator, meron po akong outright na sa China supplier ko na lahat ng papasok dito, ako ang mag-i-install. Yung it's a PWD hydraulic elevator for home. Ang problema po yung importation. I have to secure an importer license. So dumadaan ako sa mga importer and brokers. And nangyayari po, I just do the labor for installation, repair and maintenance, which is sana kung I have my own equipments and importation license, and maganda sana ang market. But then again, sabi ko nga, it's not yet over. Actually, kumpisa pa lang. We'll just have to wait a little further. Hope I answer your question.
Yes, thank you po. And but are you aware of the BEAST program of DOST or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the pipeline.
All right. Thank you very much po.
So, wow, maraming prospects,
Yeah.
and be sure to keep in touch with Ka-Fred and Alvin, ang ating mga engineering groups and organizations, pati na rin ang UP ERDFI, and then yung ating ERDT group. Hindi naman yan puros UP lang, kasama dyan ng mga leading engineering universities, di ba? Ang LaSalle, ang Mapua. Sana naman, let's get many more of our OFWs integrated into the advocacies and the programs of the engineering societies. There is so much to learn from our OFWs.
Yes, yeah.
In the Middle
Exactly.
East.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I think Giselle, I think this is our end of our session for today. Maybe do you have any more information, Giselle, from your NIC?
Yes.
Or
I think Feb can now flash the next fireside chat, which will be slightly different because I plan to share with our PAASE leadership, the proposals that I prepared, and now the NED has decided that they will ask an economist or a group to do a feasibility study of my proposals. But aside from that, I will also update the PAASE, my stakeholders, because it was PAASE that nominated me as executive member of the National Innovation Council. I'll also update you on what the plans are regarding the innovation competitions. And this is going to be like a tough competition at the regional and national level. We hope to have this approved at the NIC meeting on February 8th. But then we will have to lay out the details of the competition. And I understand there is a move to integrate or converge all the innovation-related competitions being conducted by the DTI or the DICT or the DOST. So tignan po natin kung ano mangyayari, And we're excited about it because these innovation competitions will have national coverage by media. Okay? So doon pa lang magkakaroon na ng pagkakataon ng ating mga contestants in the regions and on the national level, two-stage po yan, to get some mileage or some publicity. And all would be encouraged to participate. Even our services, engineering services, MSMEs or startups, kamukha po nila Engineer Fred. So abangan na lang po. So that will be in February 2. And then afterwards, we already have 3 more speakers from the private sector to share with us their innovations. One is on education. The other one is a UPV, fisheries expert, UP Visayas. And we have one more speaker that I was able to invite for the month of February. So yun po. Maraming salamat, Alvin, for co-hosting. Maraming salamat. Gusto po nagpapasalamat kay Fred Silvestre, our outstanding OFW engineer.
Salamat po. Salamat.
Thank you very much, Engineer Fred. Fred. Welcome back, and hope we can meet in person, in some time. So thank you again, everyone, for joining our 18th edition of our Fireside Chat series on Philippine innovation, organized by the Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering. So we'll continue next week with Professor Emeritus Academician Giselle Concepcion to talk about the National Innovation Council's work and initiatives. And of course, in the subsequent Fireside Chat series in the month of February. So thank you very much, everyone. Hope to see you again next Friday. Thank you. Fred, thank you so much.
Salamat po. Salamat po sa inyo. Sa
Bye-bye,
susunod,
everyone.
hanggang sa susunod ulit.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Oh, it's so nice to talk to Fred. So
Thank you. I have to leave now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I have to
See
go ahead.
you again, Fred. See you again.
See you.
See you po. See you.
Bye-bye.
Salamat.